This is a totally nerdy question because I'm a big nerd about I watch Game of Thrones all the time. I somehow want to see Cressida up against King Joffrey. I think that'd be the coolest like fight. I know she would like probably annihilate him, but
She'd totally annihilate him.
I mean, how would that go down? Like, how could she get to him and try and take him down? I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah, or more interesting might be to ask Cressida to spin Joffrey make a documentary about him, to film him as a good king.
Oh.
That would be like the most impressive PR campaign ever. I'd say Cressida, that's the thing Cressida and Marjorie Tyrrell have in common. They're both very good at winning hearts and minds and manipulating public perception.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe if they just held off and just got Cressida on the gig to, with Marjorie's help, spin Joffrey, things might have worked out differently.
Then you take him out after it's over.
Take him out afterwards, yeah.
Beautiful. Not poison, we'll do something a little more
Yeah,
epic.
then he's the martyr and everyone's unified and a nice quick transition on the throne, yeah.
I'm all in. Someone call George R.R. Martin, let's get this done.
Yeah, let's get it done.
I want to ask you, because I think it's interesting about your director in the movie, your character's kind of directing these promos, the propos.
Yeah, the propos.
When you're being directed by a director, like how does that element work?
How does that work?
Yeah.
No, Francis was brilliant about that because he just gave me free reign. He said, there's quite a little bit of improvisation in there. He was like, if you want to move your cameraman to the left, or you want to tell tell Sam to move over or start his sentence again, or whatever you want to do, so you feel in control.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and actually quite a lot of it made it into the movie, actually. And between takes, I would step over to the camera crew a couple of times, the real camera operators, and go, where are you taking this angle from, why, and just have them talk to me a little bit about it. So I just kind of felt a little bit more, I was more involved with observing the camera crew than I would normally be on a job, because I was interested.
That is interesting. Now, this is the whole concept of the movie, because I feel like the action is obviously toned down from the first two, but the battle really here is the media. Is you're kind of fighting over cameras, in the sense of going back and forth. Talk about how that relates to kind of media today, and how we fight battles kind of in media and with the different news stations and stuff like that.
It's completely relevant, and the battle for the airwaves is highly relevant to today and this social media age that we live in. But but importantly, it's not about, I'm not so much talking about winning ratings. I'm talking about, the big real conflicts that are going on in the world.
That's what I mean,
at the moment.
they're
yeah,
basically
and
fighting.
the way, but also, so Western press, we're all kind of on the same side, right? Yeah. But, the way France will cover something is different from the way the BBC will, which is different from the way CNN will. It's like there is always a subjective stance informed by what nation you are and where politically you are. And so, there is nothing that is framed in, there is nothing put in a frame on your iPhone, on your television, or anywhere that hasn't got an angle.
Right.
And it's important that young people understand that. It's, there is some really horrific, there is good, I'm not saying there's not good and bad, humanitarian and non-humanitarian. I'm just saying never trust an image that you see 100%, because everything has been manipulated.
Yeah. One thing I was mentioning to Sam earlier was this idea of his character being so vulnerable in this particular film, and I feel like when actors are on cameras, that vulnerability is interesting to watch. I'm wondering for you, when you're acting on camera, what is the most vulnerable element that you feel when you're acting on a camera?
Oh God. It really depends. It really depends on the role, doesn't it? Acting, period, is vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's the gift that actors have. Well, with every gift there's a burden, and with every burden there's a gift. That's, we just carry, we just have a very short membrane to some really profound, extreme emotions. And so when acting is done right, it is fearless and brave and always vulnerable.